Welcome. In the last session, I was talking about Homosporus and Heterosporus conditions. So, in this session, I'm going to give the life cycles of a Homosporus pteridophyte and a Heterosporus pteridophyte. So, their schematic representations we will see. With that, we'll finish of the characters of this pteridophyta, and then we'll begin with a new group of plants, that is Gymnosperms. Okay, so let's begin this session with Homosporus pteridophytes. Homosporus pteridophytes life cycle. Okay, so this is just to get an idea that how these Homosporus pteridophytes reproduce. So here, one example of this Homosporus pteridophyta is equisetum. Equisetum, right? Now, let's see how it takes place here. We'll start with the sporophyte. We know the sporophyte is diploid in condition, and this sporophyte will bear sporangia. Okay, and inside the sporangia there are spore mother cells, so which will be diploid in condition, and these spore mother cells will undergo meiosis and produce spores, okay, which will be haploid. And these spores on germination, so that is upon germination, okay, it gives rise to the gametophyte. So it gives rise to gametophyte. Okay, the spores upon germination will give rise to gametophyte. So this gametophyte will bear the sex organs. So that will be antheridium. Okay, so that's the male sex organ, and another one called archegonium. So this is the female sex organ. So antheridium and archegonium. So that may develop on the same gametophyte or different gametophytes. So the antheridium, we know it antherozoites, produces antherozoites, and this will be producing eggs. Okay, right? And of course only one egg and one antherozoid, so these are also haploid here. So only one egg and one antherozoid, they fuse and result in the formation of zygote. In the formation of zygote, so that is 2n condition, and now this zygote will develop into sporophyte. So this is the Homosporus pteridophytes life cycle. So how we see in case of this equisetum, right? So next, we'll see about Heterosporus pteridophytes life cycle. Okay, so I hope this is clear. So let's see the Heterosporus. So Heterosporus pteridophytes life cycle. Okay, so here an example of this Heterosporus pteridophyte is Selaginella. Okay, so let's start this one with the sporophyte, so which is diploid in condition. Okay, so this sporophyte will be producing, okay, microsporangium and megasporangium. Okay, so that is the sporangia will be of two types. microsporangium and megasporangium. So it has, okay, right, micro and megasporangium. So this microsporangium will have microspore mother cells. Okay, so these will be diploid in condition, whereas in the megasporangium they have megaspore mother cells, so which are also diploid in condition. Now these undergo meiosis and they produce microspores, and these megaspore mother cells will undergo meiosis and produce megaspores. So these are haploid, so these are also haploid. So the megaspores, upon germination, upon germination okay, so they produce the male gametophytes. They produce male gametophyte. So in this case the megaspores, okay, again upon germination they produce female gametophytes. So they produce a female gametophytes. Okay, now these male gametophytes will be having the male sex organs, so they develop male sex organs. Okay, so the male sex organs we know antheridium, I'll say antheridia, so they develop antheridia, and the female sex organs are archegonia. So these antheridia, they are going to develop antherozoids. Okay, so they are going to develop antherozoids. Okay, and coming to archegonia, so these archegonia, they are going to, okay, develop the egg. So they are going to develop the eggs. Now the antherozoids and the eggs, okay, fertilization, and that develops into zygote. Okay, so 2n, right? So because these antherozoids are haploid, and this zygote will develop into sporophyte. So this is how we see in case of heterosporus pteridophyte. So just I have given the schematic representation of Homosporus as well as Heterosporus pteridophytes life cycle. Okay, so that's about this group Pteridophyta. In this group, Pteridophyta is divided into four classes. I'm not going to discuss the characters of those classes, just I'll mention the classes and their examples. Okay, so this Pteridophyta is classified into four classes. So it is classified, okay, into four classes. One, Silopsida. So is a class, and this includes example Silotum. Example Silotum. The next one, Lycopsida. So this Lycopsida is another class. This one includes Lycopodium, then Selaginella, etc. Okay, so that's about the class Lycopsida. Then another group called Spinopsida. So this Spinopsida, it includes Equisetum. It includes Equisetum. Then Pteropsida. Pteropsida. Okay, So this one includes adiantum, then pteris and Dryopteris are some examples under this Pteropsera. So Adiantum, pteris and Dryopteris are some examples. So this is about the four classes of the group Pteridophyta. So with this we complete the characters of Pteridophyta. So we will move on to the next group of plants called Gymnosperms. Right. So here, from the Greek, gymnos, which means naked, and sperma, which means seed. So these are the plants that have, okay, naked seeds. So we'll see those characters. Okay, so first we'll see the salient features of gymnosperms. Okay, so these are commonly called naked seeded plants. Naked seeded plants. Okay, so why the naked seeded plants? I hope when we see the fruits outside here, so you know the lot of plants, they produce fruits. Okay, inside the fruit is the seed present, but in this case of gymnosperms there will be no fruit formed. So we know that in our earlier sessions we have seen that it is the ovary that develops into fruit. Okay, so actually I'm talking about the angiosperm. See, most of the plants, whatever you see around you, they are all angiospermic plants. So in them, the ovary actually develops into fruit, and they will have ovule that develop into seed. But in gymnosperms, that ovary is not present. As ovary is not present, there will be no formation of fruit, and because of that the seeds are formed. So ovules are present. So ovary is not present, but ovule is present in case of gymnosperms. The next group, that is angiosperms, they will have both ovary as well as ovule, and ovary contains ovules, right? So hence what happens when the ovary develops into fruit, inside that there will be seeds present. Okay, so in this case the seeds are covered by fruit, but in this case, as there is no ovary, right, the seeds are not covered by anything. So that is the reason why we call it naked seeded plants. Next, coming to the size, okay, so here they range from, okay, shrubs, then medium sized trees to tall trees, to, okay, so tall trees. So you find, okay, there are no shrubs, so you, I mean, sorry, no herbs. Okay, so there are shrubs, medium sized trees and tall trees, right? So I will again repeat. So no herbs. So herbs like we don't see in case of gymnosperms. So there are shrubs, then medium sized trees, and to a large, okay, and tall trees are present in this group. Okay, like for example, the tall trees here is a giant redwood tree. So giant redwood tree. Okay, so this giant redwood tree is called the sequoia. So its scientific name is sequoia. So its complete scientific name is Sequoia dendron giganteum, is its a complete scientific name, and this is one of the tallest tree species in the world. Okay, so it is one of the tallest tree species, right? Then the roots are generally tap roots. Okay, so the tap roots will be seen with one main axis, and then from there you will see a lot of branches. So in this way, so this is how a tap root looks like. Okay, okay, so this is a tap root. Then the roots in some species, the roots in some species have fungal association. The roots in some species have fungal association. So we know the fungal association and roots of higher plants is a condition we call it mycorrhiza. So we have seen in our previous session. So mycorrhiza is a symbiotic association between the fungi and roots of a higher plant. So you can see in this group of gymnosperms, there are certain species, who have fungal association with their roots. Okay, like we'll see in case of pinus. So pinus is a gymnosperm and it has the mycorrhizae. And then in some plant species there are special roots. In some other plant species, I mean here in gymnosperms only I'm talking about. Okay, so in other plant species, of gymnosperms, there are special roots. So there are special roots, and those special roots are called the coralloid roots. So they have special roots called coralloid roots, and these coralloid roots are associated with the nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria. So the coralloid roots are associated, means the nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria will be present in the coralloid roots. So they are associated with the nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria. Okay, so those cyanobacteria, we know it belongs to the group Monera. Okay, and some of those cyanobacteria we see associated with the roots of these gymnosperms, and those roots which are associated with these cyanobacteria, they are called coralloid roots. Okay, so such coralloid roots we see in case of cycas. So cycas is a gymnosperm that shows the presence of these coralloid roots. Next, in some species, so in some, the stem is branched. So in some species we see the stem is branched, like in case of cycas. So in case of cycas, right? While in others the stem is unbranched. So in some other some others the stem is unbranched. Okay, so here stem branched, which means you will find, okay, so a lot of branches like this, okay, divided. Okay, so this is the main stem that will show a lot of branches. So that's a branch stem. And in case unbranched, you will see, okay, the leaves which are whatever present only here on the top. So this is unbranched stem, and this is a branch stem. So how you see in case of a mango plant, okay, mango tree, there you can say a lot of branches, so that is called unbranched. Okay, and in case of a coconut, how you see it is unbranched here. Of course, here in mango I'm telling it is branched. Okay, and in case of coconut you will see it as unbranched. And of course, those coconut and mango, they don't belong to gymnosperms. Okay, so here just I gave an example, okay, to make you to get understand. So in case of mango plant, mango tree, how you see it has branches, and in case of coconut, you don't find any branches. So here also some members will have branched, okay, like in cycas, and some members you will see without branching. So like in case of pinus, citrus, etc. So in case of pinus and citrus, okay, then the leaves are simple or compound. So we see the leaves may be simple or compound. So let's see what is this simple or compound leaves. So if you see directly the leaf in this way, okay, so attach it to a stem, so this is a simple leaf. And if the lamina, so this is the leaf lamina, so if it gets divided and results in the formation of small leaflets like this, then this is a right a compound leaf, is a compound leaf. So later we will study in angiosperms, okay, different types of leaves, and also in morphology of flowering plants. There we will see in detail. So at present I'm just giving you an idea of how a simple and compound leaf, and this one especially is a pinnate compound leaf. So it's a pinnate compound leaf. So there will be palmate, pinnate, and like this we have different types of leaves that we will see in coming session. So here this one which I have shown is a pinnate compound leaf. Now such pinnate compound leaves may be seen for a few years, okay, in case of cycas. So in cycas, pinnate leaves are seen for few years. So they are developed, okay, and will be seen on this cycas plant for few years. Okay, then the leaves in gymnosperms, the leaves in gymnosperms are able to withstand extreme conditions. So they are well adapted actually. So the leaves in gymnosperms are well adapted for, okay, high temperatures. So well adapted for high temperatures, then humidity and wind. Okay, so they are well adapted for these conditions. So extreme temperatures or humidity, okay, or for the wind. So they are well adapted here. And they have actually, they have, that is gymnosperms have needle like leaves. So they have needle like leaves. So when we see, it will be having like this, the leaves are actually needle like. So these are needle like leaves. Okay, so needle like leaves. Right. So they have these needle like leaves, and these needle like leaves actually, they reduce surface area. So they reduce the surface area and may prevent in water loss, okay, and some other factors that we'll see it later. So they have needle like leaves, okay, they reduce the surface area. Fine. So with this, I will end today's session. So we will see in tomorrow's session some more characters. We'll even see about these needle like leaves, how they are all, and then we'll also see the reproduction, how it takes place in case of gymnosperms.